All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Kakadash, double honors to the apostles of GMS, and the sincere Shalom to the brothers out there sincerely pushing this truth, and a Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. And what I have here is basically that is called a crackdown. China orders citizens to hunt down Bibles as state church sings pro-communist songs. Now, from what they're saying is, and even when I'm hearing in this, it sounds like they're trying to ban the Bible because they say, what do you call it? A foreign religion, and what they're going back to is what they commonly associated with their own religions, and it's going to come to a point where all these places are going to try to hunt down the Bible just so these people can't really, just so they can try to prevent people from waking up from the truth. But it's not going to stop anything. Shocking. But it's not going to stop anything. So everything's going to keep going in motion. They're going to try to find ways to stop this truth, especially here in Babylon, where that's going to be the main thing. Is Esau's going to put a ban on Bibles. He's going to hunt them down and do whatever it is to do to keep us from waking up from the truth. But it's all the Lord's show. So Esau ain't doing nothing. It's all up to the Lord to do what Esau does, whether they like it or not. So I'm going to go ahead and play this clip real quick.
An important report about what's happening to religious freedom in China. Bob Fu is a Chinese-American pastor who founded China Aid, which provides legal aid to Christians in China. Well, last Thursday, he tweeted, quote, "New cultural revolution starts in #CCP China." This notice to students in a first grade class demanding all parents and teachers to hunt all religious books, antagonistic books, and overseas books, including books and videos that are copied, duplicated, and translated. Everyone is mandated. CBN News Chief International Correspondent Gary Lane is here with more on this story. So, Gary, is this a sudden development? Why is it happening now?
Well, you know, the Chinese Communist Party's modus operandi is to indoctrinate all students into the Chinese Communist Party way. And so this is just more of that. But this includes Bibles, George. But why is it happening now? Because guess what? We've got an Olympics coming up, and the Chinese Communist government does not want any disruption for the Olympics. So they really fear that there could be protests, pro-democracy movement going, and so forth, leading up to the Olympics and during the Olympics. So this sends a message to the parents, look, no outside influence. We don't want any collusion with foreigners here because they know that foreigners, of course, are pro-democracy. And so they're indoctrinating the students, but they're also targeting not only the youth of China, but also sending a message to the adults.
Gary, this is being called, at least according to Bob Fu, a new cultural revolution. How does it differ from Mao's cultural revolution back in the 1960s?
Well, as you know, Mao's Cultural Revolution in 1966 through 1979 targeted many intellectuals and anyone that he considered to be an opponent of communism. And so it was very violent back then. He had gangs, youth gangs that rounded up people, and they were thrown in prison. There were massacres. As many as 20 million people may have been killed by Mao during the Cultural Revolution. So this one is less violent. This one is a quiet revolution that is happening inside China.
And it is not happening just on the mainland.
Yes.
We've seen this erosion of freedom, various freedoms in Hong Kong, and it's even happening in the schools in Hong Kong.
Yes, but in Hong Kong just recently, just last night, another one of the members of Apple Daily, the newspaper that was shut down on the 24th of this month, it no longer is allowed to print. They had their last issue on the 24th. And they've got, I would say, probably about 7 of their editors and leaders now have been arrested for foreign collusion. And one of them, of course, the founder, Jimmy Lai, you know Jimmy Lai, he was also arrested. So this is very serious. The pro-democracy newspaper, the lone voice, remaining voice of democracy in Hong Kong, the editors rounded up, the founder imprisoned, and no more printing in Hong Kong. So this really, George, shows that the Communist Party is fully in control there. They also appointed some new leadership there in Hong Kong, security, police commissioner, and so forth.
And this is very disturbing because, Hong Kong was supposed to be transferred back to China, the 50-year rule, and they stepped in last year, 2 years ago, and cracked down severely, right?
Yes, and they're very concerned about the pro-democracy movement there, and that's why they're cracking down. We need to be praying for Hong Kong because one country, two systems is no longer in existence there.
Yeah. Back here in the United States, the members of the largest Protestant denomination in the United States recently took some action against, on behalf of, Chinese Uyghurs. Tell us exactly what happened.
Southern Baptists in Nashville, that's the largest denomination, Protestant denomination in the United States. 15 million strong, they came out and they said, what is happening to the Uyghurs in China is genocide. And this is very significant because Baptists say we believe in religious freedom. The Uyghurs have their God-given rights to practice their faith just as we do. So that's very significant, a big step, the first denomination in the U.S. to do so.
And I'm sure the Chinese are watching this development very, very carefully as well.
And then as you can see, they're going to be out on the hunt for the Bible. Specifically, it's funny because they target a lot of things, and out of all of that, they target the Bible. But even as you heard, they're pretty much afraid. And he says it's because of the Olympics. Nah, I believe these bastards know what's going to happen to them as well, and they don't like it. And the same thing's going to happen here. Here in Babylon, that same rule is going to come into effect. You know how many how many of our people is going to rat us out. So you can take a guess where this is leading. So this is Isaiah 13:13. It says, "Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place. In the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger." All right. It says, and it shall come to it, Slaki, and it shall be as the chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee one into his own land. And that's what the Lord is doing, is putting everybody back into their own land. Like when this place falls, when this place closes, or before this place closes, them foreigners, all these foreigners here, is gonna go back to where they belong, because they know what's up. They know this place is only temporary. And the true fear kicks in with these people is when the Lord actually comes back and they gotta get destroyed. Which, hey, that's a fear for a lot of people, honestly. But it is what it is. So I got this scripture. This is going to be a short video, but yeah, this is Amos 8:11. It says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of the bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord." And we can see that, we can basically see that happening soon because of how people are acting. From all the events that's been going on, these people still can't get it. When this place closed and you can't find the answers you're seeking to from not even just us, but from the book as well, because you have no understanding. The Lord didn't give you people the sight to understand unless you are the elect, or the hopeful elect, I should say, because I don't even know if I'm the elect. So that goes to show you how much of a big difference that is. But faith in this thing, in this truth, means a lot for these people that don't understand. Soccer. But be on the lookout for that to happen, because it will. But that's pretty much all I wanted to go to with that. So with that, shalom.